Hello and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I love talking about homemaking, homeschooling, living a more non-toxic life, living a life with more intentionality and less screens. And in this video, I'm going to be talking all about how I am learning to be human again and my process of getting off of Instagram, mainly Instagram and Facebook, and relearning just how to live a life without social media. If you too have felt that maybe you have forfeited your humanity, if you will, my hope is that you can find comfort here, encouragement. I hope you can find comfort knowing that you're not alone and you don't have to stay addicted to social media. Ultimately, there's freedom in Christ and He has so much purpose for your life, for my life, for our lives as human beings. And I've said this in a past YouTube video and I'm gonna say it again here, but how are we to be the hands and feet of Christ if our hands are continually scrolling on a screen and our feet are continually running to discontentment? Thinking about that has made me take the leap to touch dirt a little bit and learning how to be a human the way that God designed me to live in the world that He has created. Okay, so it's been a year and a half since I first deactivated my Instagram. I think it actually has been a little bit longer than that. I got on like 5 months ago to post a song because I'm a singer-songwriter and I have songs on Spotify if you want to find me there. Okay, now in my mind, I didn't view YouTube as social media. Obviously, I'm talking to you through YouTube, through screens. My struggle wasn't YouTube, it was Instagram, and that was the main platform that affected my everyday life. YouTube, if anything, I feel like has been good for my soul. I feel like the only things I really listen are to like video podcasts that are oftentimes like Christian-based or listening to Bible messages. So anyways, YouTube might be the thing for you that you might have to cut off. For me, it was Instagram, and so that's what I cut off. So it's been a year and a half since I rewired my brain, took off my over-influenced lenses, and finally see more clearly. Being off of social media instantly made me less foggy-headed. I felt like when I was on Instagram, I felt like my mind was always consumed with things. Maybe it was like a clothing advertisement or a message I knew I had to respond to, looking at the stories I posted for the day, or seeing how many likes and comments and shares or whatever I was getting. I wasn't getting any shares. I'm not an influencer. Mainly just the likes and comments that I was getting. It didn't matter what, my mind was always consumed when I was on Instagram. And maybe you have the self-control to be on Instagram and not be as consumed as I was, but I learned, especially getting off, that I had an actual problem and addiction to social media, to Instagram. When I was off completely for that initial year, I was less tempted to be envious. I just felt so much more content just overall. I felt like I was just able to stay in my lane and focus really on the people in my life, in my community, the real life relationships and connections I had in my life. And so that first year honestly was very blissful being off. Yeah, I went back on to share that I had a song coming out. And when I went back on after being off a full year, I just felt like I couldn't see it the same way anymore. Every reel that I saw, every advertisement, felt like every post I was looking at was an advertisement. Everybody was trying to sell me something. And here I was, I'd stumble upon a post thinking, oh, this person genuinely wants to give me great advice. To scroll down and the last thing would be like, comment this and I'll send you my ebook for $10 or whatever. And I also couldn't look at like the motherhood reels I was watching either the same way. So I would see these moms with their kids making videos, having these dance moves, you know, all perfectly choreographed, and all I can see in my head was all the behind the scenes of the mom saying, stand here, do that, let's do it again. And I couldn't view it the same way. I just felt like for the first time I was able to see through the disingenuous, and honestly, when I went back on, I just didn't have the appetite for it anymore. I wanted nothing to do with it. And the things that became so normalized, when I would see a reel that would make me cringe in my soul, and seeing like these thousands of comments of people saying how cute or acting like it's no big deal, and all I could think was, what has happened to us as people that we are believing that this is real life? And I know this is not like this divine revelation I was given and I just can't, I can see, no one else can. I know there are other people who feel exactly the way that I do, and I think, and that's a huge reason why I'm making this video. Being off of social media, I feel like I'm continually learning what real connection looks like and is supposed to be, and like what real relationships are supposed to be. I found that when I was on Instagram a bunch, I would usually try to find friends that maybe had like my same vibe or were like in the exact same season of life that I was in. The more that I'm not on social media, the more I just want to hang around people and surround myself with people that I just genuinely enjoy and they give life to my soul. It doesn't matter how old they are. It doesn't matter how much money they make. It doesn't matter if they had 12 followers followers on Instagram or friends on Instagram, or 10,000. I have wanted to just find real people and real connections. Another thing I have learned being off of Instagram is the beauty of privacy. Okay, for example, birth. I years ago almost posted a birth video of me birthing one of my sons, and my husband was the one to talk me out of it, and I'm so thankful that he did, because he was like, I don't feel right about this. And I'm like, Marshall, like, first, which is awful, I knew that I would get a bunch of amazing comments and likes, and people would think I was a rock star for birthing naturally and having candles lit and all of these things, right? So dumb. And I wanted to show off, I guess. It was my pride. It has become so normalized to see people's births. And this is not to shame anyone who has posted a birth. If anything, maybe I hope it challenges the way you think, because when my husband brought that up, it challenged me. And over the years, honestly, I'm so thankful I never posted my birth, because there's just some things in life that are reserved for just you and just your spouse, and those intimate moments that the world shouldn't be invited to see and to be a part of. And I grew so numb to that. I couldn't even see it. I was like, this is such a normal thing, posting your birth photo. There is so much beauty in these private moments that are only supposed to be reserved for a few eyes, and that's what makes them even more sacred. And the fact that we see all these super private moments of people's lives posted every day, you become numb to it. You can see a miraculous birth and just scroll right past it because it's just another post. Or another thing that comes to mind is grief, crying. When I see people posting videos of, them crying, I have a hard time taking it seriously, because all I could think is they had to get a camera and set it up to record them crying. They probably took a couple takes, deleted a couple. That's where my mind goes, at least. Maybe I'm being very judgmental. Grief and lamenting and pouring your soul out. Those are moments, again, that I think should be private and are reserved for a very few amount of people in your life and between you and the Lord. And for me, at least, I want to get back to moments where I'm more concerned about living it and feeling it with my soul rather than capturing it. Now, the reason I feel like I'm so passionate about this subject is because it's something that I think is just not talked about enough. I mean, and especially as a Christian, we as Christians are called to live lives that are set apart. We are called to be the light and the salt. And as you probably know, the substances of light and salt, those two components transforms the spaces that they're in. When you have a dark room and you put the light on, it completely transforms that room into a different room. I would say it leaves it better than the way it was found. Or, if you're eating a meal with no salt and you sprinkle salt, one, it's going to make it taste a whole lot better. And two, it's going to completely transform that meal into tasting, better and also just different. And that's, I think, obviously what we're called to be as Christians. And now you might have the self-control to be on social media, on Instagram, and use it for actual good and for change and for transforming our culture. But oftentimes, I either see Christians who are consumed by social media, myself included, not to judge anyone, that was me, or using it alongside culture. Okay, I'm not sure what just happened to my camera and lighting, but I got really bright. I might just go back a little bit. Okay, so to conclude my thoughts a little bit, I'm not trying to convince you to get off social media necessarily. I'm also not trying to influence you to stay on social media either. And I don't think every Christian needs to get off, because obviously there needs to be a Christian presence on social media. It's a huge reason why I make YouTube videos. And if there's no Christians on YouTube, YouTube would be a way worse place. So I'm not trying to say that getting off is going to fix all of our problems. And also, at the end of the day, these are just my opinions. And if you are a Christian, I would say go to scripture and pray and ask the Lord what he has for you and what are you able to handle right now in the season of life that you're in. If you are feeling more discontent, maybe more robotic than human, then I would urge you and encourage you to maybe get off of social media for a little bit too. And also to just be real with yourself. If it's Instagram that you struggle with, then maybe cutting out Instagram. If it's YouTube, then maybe cutting out YouTube. Or Facebook or Twitter. I've never had a Twitter. Or TikTok. I forgot about TikTok. I encourage you to take a break from the virtual world and step more into the real life world that the Lord has placed you in. The real life community and people and neighbors he has placed in your life. The friendships he has already given you. I would encourage you to go outside more. Go on more nature walks. Go look at the clouds and trees and listen to the sound of water. To maybe talk to more strangers, maybe at the grocery store instead of being on the phone, talking to the people around you. And I'll be trying to do the same things because I too am learning what it means to be a human. The Lord has given you and has given I and all of humanity one life to live, one miraculous life. I don't want to squander it. And I don't want to look at my screen time and have to swallow the pill that I'm spending more time on my phone than I am talking to my children or to my husband. This video is to encourage you to be the hands and feet of Christ in a very lost world that needs to hear the good news and that needs you. Your life has purpose, and I hope that you know that. Thank you so much if you have watched to the end of this video, for being here, for watching, for liking, for all of the comments. Okay, I hope you have a lovely day, drink some coffee, and I will be back soon.